woohoo, or maybe yikes. Either way, it's go time, you guys. The AP History exam is almost here, and I'm sharing my very best advice today: how to study smart in these final days, how to stay calm, and what to expect on the digital version of the exam. Yes, this year the AP History exam is fully digital. No paper tests, no handwriting the DBQ or the LEQ. You'll be typing those little essays, clicking your MCQ answers, and navigating everything on screen. This changes how you prepare a little, but we'll talk about that in a sec. But first, grab your water, your favorite study snack. Let's walk through how to finish strong. I've got coffee because I'm actually recording this on a Sunday morning. So go ahead and pause if you need to go grab your snacks and your drinks, or just keep on listening if you're ready. Hey AP students, this is Wendy with AP History Help, and you're listening to the AP History Help podcast, your go-to spot for tips, strategies, and last-minute confidence boosters before the AP exam. Whether you're taking APUSH or AP World, I have got your back. And you're going to find all kinds of useful topics in the show notes or on your favorite podcast app. I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, where I answer your burning questions and share quick tips. All right, before we dive in, don't forget episodes 8 through 11 are clutch right now on MCQs, DBQs, LEQs, SAQs. Did I get all the Qs? They'll give you technique plus examples, and you'll find links to those episodes in the show notes and on APHistoryHelp.com. And if you scroll back wherever you're listening to the podcast episode, you can see all the old episodes and see if there's something that speaks to you that might just help you to succeed on this test. All right, class, let's take your seats, get your napkins in case there's any spills. The test is just days away, and everything I'm covering today is about helping you stay focused, calm, and confident. If you've got that success planner, flip to pages 16 and 17 for your unit breakdowns by weight. For AP World, I would recommend focusing hardest on units 3 through 6, which covers 1450 to 1900. And for APUSH students, zoom in on periods 3 through 8, which is 1754 to 1980. Yeah, most of history. And for everyone, learn those themes. Practice organizing events by politics, economics, society, technology, and culture. That's how the questions are written and how College Board wants you to think. Now, let's talk about the digital test. You are going to be testing on a computer or a school-issued device of some sort. And you're going to have to type all of your written responses. So on one side, no more messy penmanship panic or drawing arrows when you realize you forgot to put the thesis statement at the beginning. But on the other hand, hopefully your typing skills are not going to be a hindrance. I know you guys are great at typing on phones, but are you good at typing on keyboards? You might want to just do a little practice test. You can search the internet on typing practice, and there's little things you can do to practice keeping your fingers on the right keys and typing fast. Now, multiple choice is still timed, but navigation is now cleaner, and you can flag questions to return to, which is kind of nice. That's one of the strategies I recommend, is don't spend too long on any given question. If you find yourself fretting over it, mark something, but come back to it if you have time. So now you can do that electronically. And Pro tip, by the way, practice typing out your DBQs and LEQs this week if you've been handwriting them. Your fingers are going to need some warm up. Whether you're good at typing or not, get those fingers going on the typewriters because you're going to be typing for, goodness gracious, 40 plus, 2 hours of time. 2 hours. That's a long time to get those fingers moving. Now, some study tips for the next few days. I want you to set small, manageable goals. Don't overwhelm yourselves. Use the Pomodoro technique. Do you know what that is? I've talked about it in season 1, talking about managing your time. Pomodoro it's the Italian word for tomato. And it basically says spend 25 minutes of focused time and take a 5-minute break. But you're going to set a timer so that for those 25 minutes of focused time, you don't have any distractions. It's a really good strategy. I use it for a lot of things when I need to get things done. And you're at that stage right now where you need to have some focused study time. So 20, 25 minutes of uninterrupted focused time and then a 5-minute break. You repeat that for about 3 times, maybe 4 at the most, and then give yourself a nice longer break and return to it if you want to keep doing that over a sustained period of time. Your brain just doesn't function well without little breaks, so make sure you incorporate those. Now, if you're the kind of person that likes to listen to music when you're studying, that's okay, but don't listen to music that has lyrics. Try lo-fi beats or classical, yes, Mozart, maybe instrumental versions of music that you like, because there is a study out there that says that your brain, if you study while listening to music, your brain kind of wants that music then when it's time to regurgitate the information that you've been studying. So if you are listening to music, if it's possible to recall that same music when it's time to take the test, that would be great. So thus, the instrumental version of music that you know. Some gums or mints while you study and while you're taking a test. Same flavor. If you're going to have peppermint gum or peppermint mints, same flavor when you're taking that test. Because same principle. Your brain is going to connect the sensory input to the sensory output. So same flavor of gum or mints. I know some of you guys are big on like staying up late, studying all night. Don't do that. Seriously, like an all-nighter is so bad for the brain. Yes, I admit it. I did it when I was in college before I knew any better. But here I am to tell you, learn from my mistakes. Don't pull all-nighters. Get a good night's sleep on the night before the test. Brains on 3 hours of sleep just do not do well on 3 hours of exams. So make sure to get at least 7 hours of sleep the night before the exam. Trust me on that. Also, when it's time for breakfast, don't skip breakfast. I don't care how much of a hurry you're in. Have some kind of high protein breakfast the morning of the exam, whether it's eggs and bacon or some kind of protein bar. Protein gives you more sustained energy. If you have some kind of like Pop-Tart or sugary cereal, you'll have that sugar crash and a test slump. So no sugar crash means no test slump. And hydrate, but not too much because you can overhydrate. Meaning like you have to go to the bathroom while you're taking the test and then your bladder takes over your brain and all you can think of is that you need to go use the little boy or little girl's room. So do be sure to hydrate, but not too much because you should be allowed to use the restroom during testing, but all of that time is very precious. You'll get a break about halfway through, but you don't want to have to use the restroom during any part of the test. Trust me. I know, I keep saying trust me. Hopefully you've been listening long enough that you do trust me. I got you. All right, time for a little fun. Quickie little Wendy Teaches History. Applies to both my AP Worlders and my APUSers. Did you know that Thomas Jefferson owned a copy of the Quran? Yes, the Muslim holy book. He bought it as a law student in 1765, decades before he wrote the Declaration of Independence. Why does this matter? Shall I give you a moment to answer that? Why does it matter that he had a copy of the Quran? Because it shows how Enlightenment thinkers, including Thomas Jefferson, were curious about global ideas, even those outside of Western tradition. And it's such a great example of intellectual exchange, a theme that pops up in both world and U.S. history questions. All right, kids, we're going to end on a high note. This exam does not define you. The score doesn't measure your curiosity, your resilience, your hustle. You have read, you have written, you've probably cried a little, and you've grown a ton. And that's what matters. You've practiced all of the question types, you've memorized the rubrics, the themes, and you're ready. I want you to try something right now. And then try it again anytime you start to feel that mean little old anxiety monster creeping in. Close your eyes. Come on, nobody's watching. Just close your eyes, it's okay. Picture yourself sitting in front of the computer in the testing room on test day. Probably a guidance counselor or a teacher that maybe you don't know welcoming you and getting you all seated, making sure you have your supplies, and reading the directions. And then he or she says, you may begin. And you read that first question, and you answer it confidently. And the next question, same. The next question may be a little challenging, but you confidently answer that one too. And so it goes. The short answer questions, easy peasy, slightly challenging, but you're feeling prepared and confident. And you get a little stretch break. You use the restroom, you hydrate a little more protein, and you sit back down to start the second half of the test. You're reading the documents and formulating a great thesis statement and using those documents to support the thesis. Man, you are feeling good. And then on to the 3 choices for your LEQ. And you can't believe these prompts. You could answer any one of them. And you write your heart out, again, feeling great because you're prepared for this. Feel the ease, the slight smile on your face, the confidence, the tension gone. Open your eyes. We call that visualization. You've just pictured in your brain being successful on that test and how that feels. I want you to practice this a number of times. I want you to make it part of your lived memories before you actually live it. I want you to visualize success. And when you feel that little monster of anxiety creeping back in again, go back to this memory of success on the test. Go into this exam with confidence. You are ready. And I've decided that I'm going to come back on May 19th to celebrate your hard work. And you'll get to watch or hear me unscripted looking at the FRQs and hear my thoughts about them. A little something different that I've not done before, sort of like unboxing of the exam. If you want to send me your own thoughts or reactions without telling me what was on the multiple choice part of the test, because that's a big no-no, email me at wendy@aphistoryhelp.com or text me at 813-485-4385. Yes, that's an actual number that I will get your text message and respond, and I promise not to spam you. Or you could even just comment on a social media post. I might share some of your comments and answer your questions that you might have. And I'll talk a little bit about some of the FRQs. I won't have time to go into every single one on both exams, but we'll see. It'll just be off the cuff. It'll be totally unscripted, very unlike me, but let's have fun with it. Now, oh my gosh, I feel like you're all my kids, sending you off the day before the exam or the morning of the exam. Oh, you guys, it's time to go kick that test's butt. You have got this. And with that, this episode of AP History Help is now history.